Jim, obviously you've been through everything at this point, ups and downs, goods and bad. But I guess how good did it feel to have such an amazing performance last time out and kind of get off that slide?
It felt great. Like when you're dealing with any loss, you get one loss, you always want to come back and like erase it, right? So it felt good to get back in the W column and do it in a pretty cool way.
Yeah, no doubt. I wonder, like, when you do suffer losses, I mean, it's tough for anybody, right? It's the worst thing in the world. But at your point in your career, does the family start going, we don't want to see you go through this anymore? Why don't you hang this stuff? Why are we still doing this?
No, my kids are like, you're going to fight for another 10 years, right? It's there's ups and downs to it. But, granted, you take a little more bruising, a little more like cuts in a fight, but the most banged up they see me is from training sessions, So, that's just the life. It's not terrible, terribly bad. It's not the worst thing. It's a brief moment. A 15-minute fight is 1% of your day, So like sometimes it goes the other way, and you're not there, and sometimes things come out that's like awesome and amazing, and you have great performances, but in the grand scheme of things, it's such that small portion, so nobody likes having two black eyes and limping around and like picking up the kids from daycare, and you look like a zombie, but that's the lifestyle that I chose. So we're cool with it.
That's awesome. How much does MMA take up in terms of your day? Like I see like your social media. I mean, you're at basketball games and wrestling tournaments and all kinds of stuff. So I mean, is it like just a tiny part of your life at this point? And is maybe that a good thing that it's not all encompassing at all times?
Well, I've never been one of those guys that is like just a fighter, right? Like there's always been other stuff, and I remember Cerrone saying something about it where he's like, I got to be me. When people were giving him crap for doing all the awesome shit that he does, and I've always kind of been the same way where it's like, I'm afforded this luxury of really being able to make my own schedule when it comes to training. So I kind of abuse it, so like, I get my training in when I can have my training partners and trainers there and stuff like that. But I do all these other things, and I'm not good at taking pictures while I'm training. Like it's never been my thing. But so there's constantly stuff going on, and lately with the kids in the sports and stuff like that, it's the last couple weeks has just been a whirlwind of wrestling matches and basketball games, and my daughter has a dance recital this weekend, and it's just been it's been crazy. My wife and I have been like two ships in the night, just passing, like, hey, how you going? Yeah. See you later. So, living in my truck, so it's not the best, right? But it's still fun.
That's awesome. So this matchup with Nichols, I'm just curious what you think about it, right? Because I felt like it was weird when they put it together the first time. I mean, obviously you're the uber veteran, he's making the newcomer, and now they put it back together. Was it kind of weird for you? Like, why does this guy's name keep coming up for me?
I did kind of think it was weird when it came up again. With the opportunity to fight, I expected him to take another fight. But whatever happened, So it's. I had a training camp for him already, so when I got the call, it was like, okay, we've already worked on some stuff for him, so there's not going to be any change on my side. So good. What, 9 years younger than me, something like that. He's been fighting for a while. Good power striker, but nothing absolutely crazy. Like I did see one somebody's headline was like. Said that he was a weirder opponent for me, and it was because I was saying that he's not 6 foot tall. Like it's different, but the way that they wrote the headline was like, hey, like I didn't call the guy out on anything. I just said that he's a short shit like me. Like, so Yeah, I think it's a good matchup. It's another one of these guys that's coming in to make their debut against me, which I feel is like the way I would approach it, I'd be, nothing to lose. But, I've seen everything, so he's got a task ahead of him. So, I'm looking to use my strengths and that experience to get the W.
Did he cross your radar at all? He spent some time up in New Jersey for a while. I mean, did you ever see him at like a regional show or corner again? I mean, were you aware of him at all?
No, I really wasn't. He fought on some of the cards that some of my other guys fought on, but I'm usually like there and back and and out. So I just try to get back to the woods and where it's quiet. So.
Is there any, you talked about your experience level versus his. Is there like any kind of mental warfare you can do, whether it be in a face-off, whether it be in interviews, whether it be, I don't know, at the start of, is there anything you can do where I'm going to make sure this kid knows this is his first time?
There's nothing that I do, I could be like, hey, I fought former champs and guys that went on to be champs, I've fought the best of the best. And done pretty well. So, that experience it's a weapon. It totally is a weapon. It's a tool that I have that I've prepared for every body type and style set at this point. So there's nothing new. It's he's just another guy that's stepping across the octagon from me where. He's the one making his UFC debut against the guy with the most wins in the division.
How are we tracking for UFC 300? Are we still on pace for that now?
Still feeling good. Yeah, still feeling good. So, I was just saying before, I was so close to retiring in 2016 and being able to come back from that and then getting a handle on it by changing my lifestyle and my diet. I'm okay talking about it. Because I had made that decision, I was crawling to get to UFC 196 so that I could ask to fight on 200 to retire. So the decision has already been made, and the idea of making that last walk has already been put into my head. And I don't think that's a bad thing because I'm embracing the opportunities, and I get to fight. I get to continue to fight where it's I almost had to hang them up. Yeah, I'm enjoying the ride, and I'm going to enjoy it as long as I can. And, I'm also prepared, for when that day comes. And, I can't wait. I can't wait to know that I'm walking to the octagon for the last time. It's going to be exciting for me. So I'm really hoping that it's, in front of everybody.
That's awesome. Does this feel just like bonus time in your career, basically?
Yeah, it really does. It really does. It's I don't know if you guys get there, but I think there's a difference in my my attitude and my approach. When I started to come out of that, at least I feel. Maybe everybody else didn't notice it, but it was kind of just a new opportunity. Because it was hell. It sucked, and even finding out when I got sick and having that first couple months of I felt way better, I was at a 9, and then I was we came back to 50%, but it still wasn't anywhere near 100%. So I had some tough times after that too, but it's cool to still be able to be doing this. And there's a lot of things that happened that went right, and it's it's my path, so I'm not going to complain about it. And my biggest thing is it happened to me, and I 100% would rather it happen to me than my kids or something like that, and so it was a lot easier for me to deal with it. That I was the one that had to deal with the bullshit.
Sure. Last thing for me, like you said, you've seen everything, done everything. I guess, what do you expect in this fight? Now that we know you're the heavy-handed knockout artist, are you telling him tuck your chin, be careful, because I'm coming for you?
I'm expecting a good fight. I feel like I've got a pretty good advantage in wrestling and grappling. Like I said, he's a heavy-handed striker, a hard striker. So, I'm going to come in there and mix it up. And, it's not the first time I fought somebody that hits hard. I can still remember, Melvin Gillard hitting me. I can still remember Anthony Pettis hitting me, and I can still remember Dwayne Ludwig hitting me. So it's like there have been plenty of guys that had knockout power that I've been across the octagon from. So I'm looking to go out and fight. I don't necessarily like have these perfect visions or this specific thing or game plan. It's like it's a fight. I'm going to throw hands, throw legs, and it's just going to be a dust cloud until it stops.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.